Hey guys, so today we are going to talk about centering and anticipation. We're going to touch on a little bit about read your map and how to utilize that as well. So here we're going to, if you have Black Ops 6, go ahead and start you a private match. Once you're in there, you're going to start you a loadout. I suggest utilizing a loadout that you're going to use in either Rebirth or Warzone or multiplayer. Whatever you use the most of, this is what you should practice with. Um, this will help you get familiarized with the guns a lot better. You're going to be using them anyway, so you might as well practice. Um, Try to utilize the same loadout all the time. I know there's a lot of guns to use, and it's fun to use all of them. But when you're first starting out, go ahead and just utilize one AR, one SMG. uh, when you're doing this warm up, the only thing, the exception to the rule as far as loadouts are going to be snipers. Um, the TTK is different. Now, when you're building your loadout, I like the KSV and the AMAX. It's basically a meta loadout. Monolithic suppressor, reinforced barrel, Ranger 4 grip. The Ranger 4 grip gives you better horizontal uh, control on the recoil, and it gives you a little movement. So definitely want that. Extended mag 2 and recoil springs. If you're just starting out, recoil springs is going to help you uh, control the recoil a little bit better. If you can already do that pretty well, I would suggest going ahead and using overpressured. It's going to give you a faster TTK. Um, but if you're just starting out, I highly recommend just go ahead and use the recoil springs until you feel confident that you can handle the recoil, and then go ahead and switch it to overpressured. It will definitely help you win gunfights as well. Um, the AMAX is the same. Monolithic suppressor, reinforced barrel, Ranger 4 grip, extended mag, and recoil springs. I personally use overpressured. This AMAX is pretty much the same build I use on Warzone as my sniper support. Um, but for this demonstrational purpose, I'm going to be using recoil springs. Um, if you're new, I highly recommend utilizing this. The thing is that all of the ARs are really easy to control for the most part, or at least all of the top meta ones. The AMAX, the Kilo, the Krieg C, GPR, um, they're all really good. The AIMs and the Model L are good too, but they're not even in the top five as far as meta goes. Because you just got the Growl, the AK, the Krieg, the AMAX, so. But you have a large option to choose from, so. But personally, I like the AMAX, so that's what I go with. Um, as far as lethals and tacticals, lethal Simtex, I don't really use it. It's just there to fill the space, basically. Every once in a while, I'll use it. The stims, though, come in handy. They help me, of course, with health, regen. They don't give you the boost of speed like they do in Warzone or Rebirth, but they're still very useful in this because the bots will shoot you, and if you can get out of there and reheal, then you definitely need that. Then you're going to have the assault pack. You're going to run out of ammo and lethals and tacticals a lot, so this is just a faster way to get resupplied. Um, there's really no other field upgrade that you should be using for this. It's basically the thing that's going to supply your whole uh, warm up. As far as perks go, uh, it's not one for one multiplayer to Warzone. So to try and get it as close as possible, we're going to use Gun Ho, Fast Hands, and Double Time, um, all to try and just get our movement as fluid as we can. Um, that way we have some outplay potential and some ability to reload a little faster and stuff like that. Um, Once you have your loadout, we're gonna set up the game, and we're gonna do free for all, and then the maps. If you're just starting out, subsonic is gonna be probably what I would suggest for beginners. It's a very linear map. There's no different elevations, no roofs, no windows, no ledges, no nothing like that. I mean, they can climb up on top of the vehicles and such, but it's really just all linear. Um, if you're going to play Warzone a lot, I do suggest practicing on a map with multiple elevations. And there's multiple maps: Vault, Skyline, Hacienda, Red Card, Protocol, um, and there's a lot more, but those are just off the top of the head. Um, but if you're just starting out, go ahead and just do subsonic. We're going to be doing Skyline for the demonstrational purposes of centering and stuff because there's elevations and stairs, and I want to showcase those. However, if you're just learning to do this, I suggest staying on the same map for about 3 weeks before you change it. This will teach you map knowledge. You will get familiarized with the map a lot easier because you're not playing different maps all the time. But after that, I highly recommend that you change the map. It will help because you become kind of complacent. You just go through the motions, and so um, changing the map will make you force yourself to think through what you're doing, and it's just beneficial all the way around. Next thing you do, we're gonna do 45 minutes. It's not gonna take 45 minutes. Most of my warm ups last about 10 or 15 minutes, but that's the way that I do it. Every once in a while, um, I'll spend about 30 or 40 minutes on a warm up, but just set this to 45 minutes. You're never gonna use that amount of time. I do suggest that just starting out, if you're really wanting to get better, it's all about the amount of time you put into it. So I recommend, and this might be a hot take, but I recommend that if you're going to play for a couple hours, you practice at least half the amount of time that you're going to play total, um, and really just kind of focus on that. Especially just starting out, those are the most key points, and when you need to really kind of focus on the fundamentals. So I recommend putting that much time and effort into it if you really want to dedicate yourself to getting better. It's just all about reps. It really is. It's just that simple. There's really no secret formula to it. You just got to get in there and do it. So, but yeah, I definitely recommend doing at least half. You know, definitely if you're gonna play for a couple hours, definitely put in at least 30 minutes worth of practice before that. Not only is it gonna help your matches once you're in there, because you're already warmed up, but over time, it's like working out. The weight might be really heavy at first when you first start lifting it, but after a couple of weeks, it's not as heavy anymore, and it's because you've put in the reps. And so the same thing applies with practicing anything, especially Call of Duty. So just put in the reps, 45 minutes time. That's all you need to do. Um, that's that's really just about all you can do at the beginning is just that. And so just go ahead and put the 45 minutes on there. Um, I personally start off with 60, but um, we're going to do 50 for demonstrational. I suggest if you're just starting out, put it at 100 points or even 200 points. And for the first 50 or 100 kills, what you're going to do is you're going to go over to your controller settings, put it on aiming, sensitivity multiplier, and you're going to go to ADS sensitivity multiplier. And you're going to move this up to 1.5. Alright? Um, this will help you fine tune your right stick, and so that you won't be so heavy on it when you're trying to acquire targets, track targets, flick onto targets, or keep your centering and uh, and your crosshairs just really smooth and level. Um, the first 50 to 100, you're going to shoot with this up here at 1.5. After that, you're going to move the ADS multiplier down back to your normal um, ADS sensitivity, and you're going to literally feel like a god. Once you've done this a few times, it really, you can really feel the drastic improvement of how crazy it feels, and this will just really up your improvement. I don't suggest turning aim assist off. I think that hurts you more than it helps you. This actually benefits you a little bit easier and a lot more in the long run without hurting you. So the first 50 to 100, you're gonna have like that, and then you'll bring it back down. Most normal people, I'm not really normal, but most normal people have it around point 0.8, point 0.9. I have point 0.7. It's just a preference. My horizontal and vertical are 1.6. If you're just starting out and you're just playing around with this, try it out, but stick with one sensitivity for at least a week before you change it. Find one, set it there, leave it there for a week, do all your practices and all of your matches with that sensitivity and that setting, and don't change it. And then after a week, try and move it around. So we're gonna put this down to 50. We're gonna start the game at 5 seconds. We're gonna put health regen at fast, max health at 250. This is the closest thing to Warzone. It's not quite the same. It's pretty close, but you can put it at 300 if you want. You don't have to. Minimap, yes, we're gonna have it on here. I have mine on no when I warm up because I'm practicing listening to sounds and getting more familiar with getting confident on reading those sounds and engaging those sounds and trying to push them. If you're just starting out though, highly recommend that you have this on yes. Um, there are so many different sounds in the game. You don't always have a UAV up and stuff like that. So that's why I practice with the mini map off. Um, it's just something I've done, and it seems to help me a little bit. But we're gonna have this on. Constant is bugged out. It does not work. It doesn't work like it's supposed to. So we're gonna have this on directional. It'll look like an advanced UAV. Um, with the big triangles, at least you'll know which way they're looking and stuff like that. And they're always there; they never disappear. So you will be able to um, use this to read the minimap. Um, if you are not reading the minimap, you absolutely need to practice that. It is the most important, underly used item tool we have on this game. I don't think enough people actually read the minimap. I know that I'm still learning how to, in some regards. Sometimes I fail to look at it, get caught up in the moment. We all do. Um, but you need to be paying attention to that minimap. I guarantee the more you get familiarized with the minimap and the more you trust it and are able to read it and engage in those fights because of it, you will win. If you know where the enemy is and they don't know where you are, that gives you a strategic advantage over the enemy. And we want as many strategic advantages as we possibly can to utilize against the enemies. Um, we're going to put field upgrade charge rate to 10. This is just give us our ammo box faster. And we're going to turn score streaks off. We don't really need those. Once we do that, we're going to go over to the right side of the screen by your name, and we're just going to add some bots. Uh, we're going to have 2 bots. If you're just starting out, I suggest 1 or 2 bots. Um, don't overdo it. You don't need a bunch of bots. Personally, I have mine at 9 just because I want to shoot as many bots as fast, as accurately as I can. Um, but again, I have a lot of reps in this. I don't suggest starting out that way. Um, if you're a little bit more advanced than beginner, you can put this at 5 or 6 bots starting out. But if you're brand new to this, go ahead and just do 2 bots. This way you can focus purely on what you're doing and not how many bots you're killing. Um, you really want to kind of focus on the fundamental of what you're trying to get better. And in this case, we're trying to get our centering and our anticipation better, so we don't need a whole lot of distractions by overthinking it because we have too many bots. So we're just going to have 2, and then we're going to start our match, and we'll get started with how to center. So as we load into this match, um, we're going to pick our loadout, and right here off the rip, I'm going to just kind of, you want to get, when you're just learning this, the easiest way to do this is by utilizing items in the world of the game as reference to what is headshot level. Now we know that bar is just about center mass of the chest, so you want to aim just a little bit above the bar. Not much, it's just enough. And so we're gonna focus on these stairs. If you come around this corner and you're aiming right here, your centering is low. You know the enemy is gonna be up here, so we want to be aiming there when we come around this corner. And a lot of people will take the arm rail and try and shoot from above you. So you want to have this kind of angle coming around here. You don't want to go right into the middle of the stairs. You want to have some cover, right? Like that's too far out. So when you're coming around here, you kind of want to have cover, and that's still too far out. But that just gives you a reference. So if you see right here in the world, right here, when you're aiming this low, this is too low. A lot of people run around like this. You want to, if somebody's on that corner and you're coming around, you have to bring your aim up. The TTK is so fast that it will gun you down. Whoever gets the first shot is usually going to be the winner of that gunfight. So you can see where I'm trying to reference my dot all the way around. You can see I just did a whole 360, and I was still a little low. That was probably about solar plex, middle chest shots right there. So this little line on this painting is basically head level, right? The top of these lights are head level. The top of that bush, head level, right? And this little heady from around the corner, right? So I seen this dude on the minimap, and I was just anticipating, and I just came around the corner, and I didn't see this dude on the minimap. We got a scrambler up, but I did catch him when I was reloading, right? And I'm just trying to keep everything in front of me right here, and just making sure my dot is just head level. We're gonna reload. You can see on the minimap, dudes behind us. This dude's gonna drop this scrambler, so that's kind of slide out, give myself the ability to change angles. But this enemy over here decided to make things a little more complicated. We're just gonna keep our dot head level, right? They're fighting each other. I need a little better aim there. Missed some shots there as well. Alright. We're going to follow up and just clean that up right there, and we're going to reset. Alright, so we're on the other side of the map now. And so, just like I said last time, reference points. I know that the bottom of these lights, just from map knowledge, is head level. As you play and pull more reps and get more map knowledge on other maps, this map, Warzone, Rebirth, Plunder, as you play those maps, you're going to start seeing things like the line on that fireplace right there, that's head level, right? The bottom of the, or that second, or the first part of that tree, that's head level. That's head level. This is all head level. So I want to keep everything in front of me. You can see a perfect example of how that's just head high, right? And we're just going to keep it all in front of us when it comes to us. Try not to be overly aggressive. shots here, so we're going to reposition, right? Only got 12 bullets. I'm gonna reload. Now you can see on the mini-map this dude was coming behind us. So I'm just preparing. Still aiming a little low. Missed shots, he didn't come around the corner, so I'm repositioning. I'm trying to get a better angle. And what happens? Bot. So now we gotta reposition. Bad timing. We're just gonna follow up. Keep everything in front of you. Keep everything in front of you. I know that there's only 2 enemies, so if I can count them, and I know where their positions are, I know where my safe point is, right? That way they can't get behind me. And we're just gonna keep reading the mini-map. Now, this fireplace I'm standing next to, this corner right here, this is head level. This is another reference point in the game, right? Head level. So it's really easy to start understanding your centering when you utilize reference points throughout the world. There's so many. It just takes some looking, and the more you play, the more you'll see them. I just have a lot of hours in this, so you see how low my aiming there is, and then how long it takes to get my aim up. If that would have been a good player, I would have been beamed. So this dude caught me off guard because of the scrambler. Should have been a little bit more anticipating that. And I'm sliding out here a little too far on purpose. I'm still a little low on my centering. You can see how bad this is. Now if somebody comes around that corner, it's going to take me a second, right? Now a little bit higher. Shots, reposition, slide off there, but doing all right. To get some more shots, we just reposition, hit and move. Just make yourself a hard target. I try and anticipate that, but I was a little bit off with my centering. I was a little to the left there, so that's why I got shot there. You want to keep your dot kind of on the corner or edge of a corner or a wall, right? Like, if somebody was up on top of the stairs there, I know there isn't, so I didn't have to check it, right? But if somebody was there, you would want to be aiming at that point as you're coming through. That way, in case somebody just magically appears, as they do sometimes, right? So definitely don't want to walk around with your aim down sight just stuck like I was just doing there. This is to demonstrate why you should. Now, you will also see me aim down sight and then unaim down sight in the gunfight. And see it as I'm acquiring different locations, like I'm aiming through bottom here and then up to the stairs. And you'll also notice that I disengage. I don't stay in a gunfight. I don't have to stay there. I knew there was an enemy there. He put the scrambler down. Now, this dude's bad timing, and we're just going to pre-fire. He wasn't there, so you can see there where I ADS and un-ADS multiple times to try and track the enemy. When they're that close, you don't have aim assist. So it's a lot harder, and then I have an AR out, so the ADS is really slow, right? Slide out, keep him in front of us. There's nothing on the mini-map. We're gonna reload here, and we're just gonna reset. Now I see this dude, I see both of them. We can get bullets. This dude should be right here. The other dude's over here. He's across there. Now I thought originally that he had drop shot and that I killed him, but he had jumped in the water. So I was just, I know from map knowledge that I just went for a sharp shadow. Miss a couple of shots there, but I still track him. Now I know there's multiple angles, and from this mini map, coming out to that side, right? And I know that this scrambler's here, so there's got to be a dude here somewhere, and he's not. Got another scrambler, so I'm thinking there might be one here somewhere. But they're not, they're both right there. I see this dude below me. I was following him on the mini map. I thought he was right there. We just follow him on the mini map. This dude's above me. We're just gonna keep this centering. And we're just gonna read the mini map. He's below. We're just gonna keep the centering. Keep everything in front of you. I know he's coming. Alright, headshots. See how fast that now. He caught me out in the open. If that would have been a real guy, I would have died there because I'm not moving from cover to cover. Like, I'm just kind of out in the open here. And I'm pointing out right now another reference to the tree, right? When the enemy shows up, you can see that third part is head level. So, third section of the tree. And any tree you see that's like that, it's usually either the second or third part of the tree. And you can see head level all the way across. It never moves. I'm just going to keep everything in front of us. And shoot the light to show you that it's still head level. As you see, I'm not trying to overextend when I slide. The farthest I want to go is usually to the edge of the corner, right, of the heady or whatever you're on. I seen that dude on the map. I'm gonna let him slide down. I thought he was a little higher. Take some shots there. Wasn't pretty. These are head level shots. It's really pretty simple. Once you can control the recoil, which shouldn't be too difficult because all these guns are actually pretty easy. You know, I'm an old man, so if an old man can do it, a youngster can do it. So, but these are just little tricks. You know, you'll find other things that will help you out as well. You know, just kind of adapt. You know, once you get the reps in, you can see things around the map that really kind of help you instead of just inanimate objects that are there for show, you know? Like, I know certain angles down there are all head level, so I just keep the dot close to them. Now, I'm reading the mini-map again. He's here. The Scrambler didn't have him, but I just know that people come from that way, so I try and keep my gun pointed that direction. And we're just going to keep everything in front of us. I see this dude on the mini-map. He's above me. I know he's up here around this corner. And that's with the KSV, which is a little bit harder to control than the AMAX. And you can see that I could track him quite well. We're just going to keep everything in front of us. And this is all you got to do. Now, when you have, you know, 8 or 9 bots, this goes a lot faster than this 50 points. And so, you know, the games don't usually last this long. So, just do this. Do this every time before you play, man. And I guarantee within a couple of weeks, you're going to see nothing but drastic improvement. You see here where I slide out, hold that head level aim. I know this dude's about to come around this corner. just really on point, and that's it. Thank you guys.